singleton pregnancy versus twin pregnancy. For us, it happened the other way around. Oh, she's moving. Baby's here. Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm just about to wake the girls up from a nap. They're kind of snoozing. It's a little bit of a lazy day. I was supposed to shower, blow dry my hair. Clearly from my greasy helmet head, none of that has happened yet. I am still in PJs. I wanted to answer some of your questions. What have I noticed between a twin pregnancy versus a singleton pregnancy? I didn't know what to expect, especially because we had the twins first. Oh, she's moving. She's moving. She's like, why are you in the bed but not snoozing, mama? Busy. We obviously had the twins first, and I didn't know what to expect this time around. I do feel personally like it was a little bit easier to go from having twins to a singleton, because I think had it been the other way around, I would have been like, I am totally not prepared for this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know what I did with one. But honestly, that's how I felt with the twins anyway, so I don't know how much of a difference it would have made. The twin pregnancy itself, if we start there, let's start back in 2019 when we found out that we were pregnant with twins. It was, I believe, in July. Didn't know that it was twins yet. And then early August, we found out through ultrasound at my workplace, which was awesome, that there were two. Being a nurse, being a fertility nurse myself, I know the risks associated with twin pregnancy, and I had bought a lot of books. I have done a lot of reading and research, Googled a lot of stuff, which I tell people not to do, don't do, but everybody does. And I was concerned. I know for the longest time I was worried to know how long I would be able to make it with the twins. For one, I had never been pregnant before. Also with twins, the likelihood of having a premature babies or going into labor early was higher than, say, just with one baby. That fear was there pretty early on. It felt great just hitting those milestones, and something that I was really aware of and put a lot of effort into was meeting my daily calories. I had a great book, which I'm gonna see if I can find the title for you guys. It's written by physicians, it's written by OBs, with a lot of data on women that have had twins, and they gave recommendations of good foods that you should eat, the amount of water that you should be drinking, the amount of calories that you should be intaking. I feel like I was super mindful of that. I had never been pregnant before, so I didn't know what to expect in terms of when would I start showing, or is it bloating, or is it the baby bump? But for the twins, I feel like I started to have a little bit of a bump around 13 weeks, which is pretty early for individuals that are carrying only one baby. You may not start to show that bump until a little bit later on, a couple of weeks even later. So I feel like showing early was definitely one thing. The added stress of knowing that there was two, and the concern of going into that 9-week ultrasound, would there still be two heart rates? It just felt like there was double to be worried about, even though it's the same thing, and like you really truly have no control over it other than eating well, taking care of yourself, drinking lots of water. But I did feel double the stress, especially because we were going to be first-time parents. It was like, I don't even know how to take care of one baby, let alone two. But it was also an abstract thought because we don't have any kids. We didn't have any kids at that point. So trying to picture having babies in the house was really difficult. It was just, my belly is growing, my belly is expanding. They're telling me there's babies in there. We're just going with it. I had really bad nausea in the beginning. So in the first trimester with the twins, I had to take some time off of work. I wasn't so good with my prenatal vitamins because I found that it made me even more nauseous. It just exacerbated the nausea and just so tired. I remember at even just, believe it or not, 5 to 6 weeks pregnant, I was toast. I remember sitting on the couch being like, I can't go to Costco. I'm so tired on the weekend and not really knowing what was up yet. We did our ultrasound confirming the twins at 5.5 weeks at my workplace, which is crazy early. Even then, the physician that I worked with was like, it could be twins. It could potentially be a live intrauterine single pregnancy with a bleed. They weren't too concerned about, but we went back on the Saturday, 3 days later, and sure enough, there were 2 little heartbeats. So we knew pretty early on, right at the 6-week mark, that it was twins. We then went out that same day and bought an SUV, which has served us so well. I don't know how necessary it was. Looking back in the moment, I think we totally panicked, but it's such a funny memory. Such a funny memory now looking back. This little one, I did have some nausea, no vomiting. I didn't have a whole lot of vomiting with the girls, a couple of episodes, I think around 3. So that was different with this little one bun, no vomiting, which was great. Definitely tired with this little one, definitely tired as well with the Singleton, but not as much. Like I would still be able to function. It wasn't that feeling of, I feel like I am made of cement and stone and I just can't move because I'm so tired. That's how it was first trimester with the girls, with the twins. Personally felt like I started to see a little bump coming along at around 13 weeks, 13 weeks, if not 14 weeks with this little one. But also this is my second pregnancy, so you do tend to show a little bit earlier with the second pregnancy. So at one point I was like, I think they missed one. I think it is twins again because my bump was lining up with when I noticed my bump with the twins kind of around the same time period. But I think again, it's just because it's the second pregnancy that everything's stretched out down there, so it tends to show a little bit earlier. Once I passed into the second trimester, I definitely found that my belly grew slower, like it did start to slow down. 18 weeks pregnant with twins is how I looked at 28 weeks pregnant with a Singleton. So the belly size was almost like there was 10 weeks in between. Now I don't know, I never truly measured. It's just kind of how I felt, like the strain on my back, how my clothes were fitting. I remember even our OB was saying I was apparently quite small for having twins. Like the babies were a really great size. They were tracking completely normal weights, but just how I was showing, the uterus was a little more tucked in. Again, I think it's because it was the first pregnancy ever. It is definitely different with the Singleton, having way less ultrasound. So for the twins, we had our first OB appointment scheduled at 16 weeks. That was crazy to me. Necessary, this feels a little over the top. It was so reassuring to have that extra care, especially because of the concerns and the worries that I had at the fact that we were having 2. We had an appointment at 16 weeks, then 19 weeks. We had ultrasounds for each of those appointments as well. And then we would see the OB every 2 weeks, which was crazy. And an ultrasound every 2 to 3 weeks. This little pregnancy, they did an ultrasound for us at 9 weeks. And then an ultrasound for the fetal anatomy and newborn screening at 12 weeks. And the final one was the anatomy scan at 20 weeks. And that's it. So just 3. And it has felt so strange that I am now sitting at 38 weeks, 6 days, and only having had 3 ultrasounds. Just crazy. This time around with the Singleton, we did decide to go the midwife route, which was a little nerve-wracking for me. Thought, oh, this is different, doing things different, change while pregnant. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And I love it. I absolutely love midwife care. They are so hands-on. I didn't realize, but you generally have more appointments with a midwife, and it's a really intimate experience. Like, your appointments aren't as short, it's a longer session, it's more relaxed. Definitely loving our midwife experience so far. We were supposed to have an appointment today and potentially do a stretch and sweep, but it got canceled for, I think, either tomorrow or early next week. So I don't know, I was kind of nervous about that. For the twins, we ended up making it to 37 weeks and 5 days, and my water broke. My water broke with little Crimson, baby A. And because I was strep B positive, I did have to go into the hospital for them to ensure, was it the amniotic fluid? Did my water break? It did. And they had to give me penicillin, and then I was induced. So this time around, I don't know, we're waiting and seeing. I am clearly past how far I went with the twins. I'm now at 38 weeks and 6 days. So I'm already a week and a day past that. So I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what to expect at this point. I felt kicks with the twins way earlier. So I think I felt movement with the girls around 17 weeks, like clear kicks, whether they were elbows, knees, little feet, because there were so many of them in there and they were already expanding at a rate that the space was getting tight. For this little one, I don't think I truly felt belly kicks and flutters until about 21, 22 weeks of pregnancy, where I was like, that's for sure her. She's kicking, she's moving. I can definitely feel the difference in strain on my body with the twins, and I'll see if I can find some pictures or not. I was so swollen. My feet, my face, and my hands. Oh my goodness, the water retention was just crazy. And I thought, hey, maybe that's just my body. Maybe that's just how I respond to pregnancy. All of the hormones circulating. It's not. It was the twins, and it was the exaggeration of the amount of hormones. And I think the pressure and the amount of fluid that it takes to grow two little humans it was an incredible strain on my body. I remember being at work and my coworkers were like, oh my God, your feet. We turned a garbage can upside down and elevated my feet. I was recommended by our OB to go off of work early. It's not that there was anything wrong. There was no issues or concerns. It was just that in order to achieve a longer duration of gestational age or a longer pregnancy length, to go off of work a little bit early. So they did put me off of work at 30 weeks pregnancy. I remember being at home thinking, I don't really know what to do with myself. I was feeling nesty, but also tired, and taking myself on drives with my big belly. I feel like I forget the whole birthing process, and everyone's like, oh, you had twins, you gave birth to twins, this will be easy peasy, but I don't know. I'm still nervous, so the nerves don't go away, but it will be kind of refreshing that hopefully if I'm able, once this little one pops out, they're not saying, okay, Sarah, gear up for baby number 2, like last time. That for me is kind of the differences that I noticed. Okay, so yeah, I chatted your ears off about twin pregnancy versus singleton pregnancy. Let me know if you guys have any questions for future videos in the comments below. It's time for me to go and get the twins up, keep this little one tucked in for now. And I will catch you guys next time. Maybe I just close my eyes. All this talk of birth and giving birth, and the birthing process is making me think, why don't I just catch a couple of these? Okay, so the bump is gone and baby is here. Oh, good burp, sweet cheek. Good burp, honey. So little did I know that a few days later from filming that, this little one would make her arrival. Yeah. But you're here now. Are you liking being out of the belly? Are you saying hi to everybody?